Hard to do what Mike does when face to face to a person. Yes, I have seen Mike and Destiny argue in real life though, which was kind of funny. They were just like screaming at each other at a dinner table with 20 of us. But I actually miss Mike being a normal dude. But he went off the deep end. I don't know what Mike's deal is. I think Mike has like a goal of being like a 5K Andy or something like that, and he's just willing to do whatever it takes. And he found that if he's negative and controversial and starts fights, it gets a lot of people talking about him, and that's what got him up to this point. So why would he stop doing that, you know? If he wants to be mad at me, he can. I blocked him on Twitter like a year and a half ago. I haven't been in his channel in the same amount of time. Don't you feel sorry for him though, Aiko? I know this is you're gonna say no, but don't you just feel sorry for people that are that angry in life like Mike and just that crazy right now? I feel like something's going on. I just feel sorry for him. He never told you what his problem is? No. I think his problem with me is that I'm friendly with Destiny. That's it. Because every time he gets mad at me, it's like in reference to Destiny, and he talks about how like Destiny is like made me and all my success is because of Destiny. But then he said some weird thing about how one of my friends, that's another streamer, is my biggest supporter, who's a Republican. It's just like wrong on so many levels. So I don't know. There's a lot of layers to that. I go back years with Mike. You guys got to remember, I've known Mike since like 2018. That was TwitchCon 2018. It all goes back to Bad Bunny. It really does. It really does. Bad Bunny took Mike under her wing, and he adopted a lot of her traits. And Bad Bunny is a very bad influence for anybody. Did he assault any couches when you're around? I have never seen him punch a couch in person. All of the toxicity, none of the confidence. Yeah. Somehow Mike wasn't involved in this drama at all. Isn't that interesting too? This is the first time we've had a big drama that I can think of without Mike involved. He must have been seething that he wasn't the center of attention for the first time. Mike's just mad that Biden won. True. It's true. Mike's running out of friends. I think Hasan's still cool with him. Boy, Hasan is impossible for me to watch. I cannot watch Hasan at all. I don't know how people watch that guy. I've really tried. I really try to give Hasan a chance. By, you know, he's a funny guy, but just everything about him is just so cringe to me. Like if he wasn't a tall, good-looking dude, he would be just nothing at all. So Aiko was watching a video of his the other day where some girl was over hanging out, and they were both so nervous, and he had this stupid blue flame bowling shirt on, and they were both just so nervous, like kept touching their hair and stuff, and it was like the most awkward first date stream ever. And he was just like trying to be cool and like, you know, this is what these people do, and you know, this is what that's, you know, they're just cringe, and oh, that's Turkish people cursing in my chat, they can't handle it. It's like, dude, it was so hard to watch. It was like watching a first date, so awkward. But he was so confident, so oblivious to what was happening. And the girl was so uncomfortable on the street. She was smiling, but if somebody's constantly touching their hair and adjusting themselves around you, they are not comfortable. You watch that stream, Freems? Good God, how did you get 5 minutes through that? It was rough. And the whole Hasan house thing is hilarious to me. Why is he so upset over everyone criticizing him over his house? What did he think was going to happen? I mean, it's so funny. And he gets so upset at Destiny, right? He thinks he's so much better than Destiny. He's like, look, I give you a little crumb of relevancy by talking about you, Destiny. It's like he can't resist Destiny. He's in love with Destiny. It's so sad. But Hasan's fooling nobody with any of this stuff. Nothing. Hasan's fooling nobody with anything he says. It's like a kid, man. You know, it's like when you go, it's like a little kid trying to hide something. It's so funny. But I don't know how people watch it. If Hasan was like 300 pounds and um and 5'4", nobody would watch him. He's got a terrible attitude. The guy puts a lot of effort into his appearance. I don't know what's going on with the fashion sense, but you know, I just kind of wear what's comfortable, but I don't claim to be cool. I'm not trying to wear some yellow glasses and weird beanies and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, just everything is so forced with that guy. I laughed so hard when he said he's diversifying the neighborhood because he's Muslim. You know, there's his activism. Send Hasan some chicken nuggies merch. Yeah, even his merch sucks, right? He couldn't even do that right. He has access to all the talent in the world when it comes to artists and designers, and he couldn't even pull that off. It just, everything just is so bad. I can't tell if he's a character. No, he's authentic. He's just an awkward dude. I've seen him in person. He's very awkward in person too. Hasan is an interesting community though. I will say that much. I will say that Hasan is a very interesting community because they don't go out there and fight for Hasan, which leads me to believe that they don't like him very much either. I don't see them ever going to bat for Hasan. All I see is streamers who are trying to chase some clout stand up for Hasan once in a while. That's it. I don't see anybody going to bat for Hasan ever. I do think that kind of hit the nail on the head. We went from the rich suck and they're destroying, because Hasan is the 1%, guys. If you Google who is in the 1%, if you make, I believe, over $700,000 a year, you're part of the 1%. Hasan could be doing what he does from anywhere. He could be living in somewhere like Phoenix where he can have a lot of space and he could have a home that's much more reasonable. But I don't understand why he has to be in West Hollywood. Has he explained that? Why he has to be in West Hollywood? What if he just wanted to stay in Hollywood? Then I would argue that it's an abuse of resources. It perpetuates the problem of affordable housing by feeding into the lack of affordable housing, and continues to contribute to the problem with like these McMansions. I also don't understand his argument. I did hear him say this, that he did not buy the house just outright. So he has 50,000 subs. He gets like 70-80% of his sub revenue. You can do the math on that. What is that? So you get $2. Let's see. You get like, let's say $4 times 50. He's making $200,000 a month on his subs, plus all the bits and the tips and his sponsorships and his deals and his YouTube. The guy's probably pulling in $400,000 a month, $300,000 a month, right? Let's say he's doing $300,000 a month. He makes enough to buy the house in 10 months. So the idea that he somehow took out a mortgage and he's just working at it like everybody else, I find it hard to believe. What does he spend his money on? I'd be very curious to know. Savings get spent on index funds. Yeah, I bet you he's got all this mutual funds with Bank of America and Shell and all these companies that his community would consider murderers and the worst of the worst. He's probably got all this money invested in the stock market. You know what I mean? Unless he owns an empire of homes, which I don't think he does, what else is he going to do with his money? Is it just sitting in a savings account? If that's the case, then it's probably not in a credit union. So he's allowing Bank of America to invest and do terrible things. I mean, there's just so many things wrong with what's going on there. Well, look, Notorious ROB wants to defend Hasan, so it's if that makes you feel good to defend him, ROB, then you go on, keep going. You'll convince me soon enough. I haven't heard any of these arguments yet. But you're making a great case right now, and I'm starting to be swayed. I can feel it. You know what, guys? I was all wrong about Hasan. He works 8 to 10 hours a day sitting in a chair, laughing at memes and having money thrown at him, and I'm starting to rethink it. So why are you defending him in my channel if you're not trying to convince anyone? You're just masturbating in my channel, staring at Hasan. Like, I'm sitting here saying negative things about him, and you're simply responding with your own story. What are you doing? You're masturbating in my channel. Get out of here. I'm just listening and watching. No, you're being obnoxious. Why would you argue with somebody in their own channel? You think anybody wants to enjoy that?
I know what I'll do. I'll go in this channel and argue with this streamer about everything they say.
Get your maces out, folks. Get ready. Who's got load? Load?
I am? Why does everyone agree with you in here?
Look at that. You made me use my real voice, you jerk. You made me use my real voice. I get very angry when I've got to use my real voice.
What am I saying? I'm just stating facts about Hasan. How dare you say something negative about the guy who makes $4 million a year?